When you actually really look at it, they've existed for, over 100 years, and people have been using them every day.
What's the difference between this and this place just over my shoulder here? Not very much, according to one advocate who says at first glance, they're both very similar.
When you go into a bar or a tavern or a pub, you're actually consuming a safe, regulated supply of drugs, alcohol. For the other part of people who use drugs, people are pointing fingers at supervised consumption sites when people are walking in there to use their illicit drugs.
With an average of 6 people dying in BC each day from toxic drug supply, harm reduction advocate Guy Felicella says he made the comparison on Twitter in the hopes more people would understand the need for safe supply.
At the supervised consumption site, obviously with the poison drug supply the way it is today, it's a vital part of services for people who use drugs. And when they go there, it's the same thing. I often describe it too as, in my journey of using those sites for many years, I described it as a welcoming environment, kind of like the theme song from Cheers.
It's not totally wrong. I think it's on point to a general degree. That when you think about service, alcohol service in British Columbia, every server has to have like a serving it right kind of thing. They have to be trained. There is regulation, at least on the books, in terms of how much you can serve an individual if they're visibly intoxicated.
So why can it be difficult for the public to be empathetic towards drug users?
So even though an individual may have, started taking the drugs on their own volition, over time, these drugs change the brain in such a way where it becomes incredibly difficult to break and could be viewed as a mental disorder of some regard. So I think helping people understand that it is something abnormal with brain circuitry and brain chemistry that is altered in these individuals.
Dr. Stan Floresco says looking down on supervised drug consumption sites does nothing to solve the issue.
But understanding that, okay, this is something they may have engaged in this experience initially, but their brains are changed now, and let's help them change their brains back or deal with this this condition that they have.
You're
right
still
now.
Using drugs. Drug users are drug users. You either use them or you don't, and either is fine. But you shouldn't be pointing fingers at people who use drugs, especially if you're a drug user yourself.
In Vancouver, Ria Renouf, City News.